the mid-range segment is absolutely buzzing. In the past few months, it has become apparent that most companies are trying to establish their stronghold in this segment, with phones getting better and better with each passing launch. And now Vivo has decided to throw their hat into the ring. Constantly pumping out phones with great design, multimedia capabilities, and strong camera hardware and software, consumers have come to expect a lot out of Vivo. Vivo's last phone in this segment, the T1, did a decent job. Let's jump in and find out how significant of an upgrade the Vivo T2 is and can it pull its weight. Vivo has grown leaps and bounds when it comes to the design language that they have deployed in their smartphones in recent times, and the T2 does not lag behind. We received the Nitro Blaze color option, which at first sight looks blue, with diagonal lines running all across. But as you view it from different angles, the color changes to a bright orange hue, and we must say, this looks extremely cool. The back is a polycarbonate construction with a matte finish, which doesn't attract smudges. The camera module has been given a glossier finish to add a layer of texture. We also get to see two large lenses on the back, which is growing to become a norm in this segment. On the bottom of the phone, we have a Type-C port, speaker grill, and 3.5mm headphone jack. The volume rocker and power button are on the right side, and the SIM tray and secondary mic can be seen on top. The front camera is housed in a water drop notch. The chin on this display unit though was a little too large for our liking. Barring the large chin, we really like the display on this phone. It's a 6.38-inch AMOLED display, which is really pleasing to look at. The colors are vivid, the blacks are nice and deep, and the viewing angles are pretty good too. The presence of the AMOLED display allows for an in-screen fingerprint scanner, which was quite fast during our time with the phone. The screen has a peak brightness of 1300 nits, which is just as high as you get in some premium smartphones. Visibility indoors or outdoors shouldn't be an issue at all. While the display unit is quite impressive, it would have been nice to have stereo speakers on this device that would have made it great for entertainment. The mono speakers do the job, but don't quite pack a punch. The phone is powered by a Snapdragon 695 chipset, which is a tried and tested processor, which we keep seeing in a lot of phones in this segment. The performance is flawless when it comes to daily usage. The apps load quite fast, and the 8GB of RAM coupled with 8GB of virtual RAM allows you to run 20 plus apps at once without facing any issues. The gaming performance of the phone is decent, and you should ideally be running your games on medium graphics for a smooth experience. We played Shadow Fighter on the phone and could see a few drop frames on high graphics, but overall there were no surprises and the phone performed as we expected it to. There have been major upgrades when it comes to the camera though. We get a 64 megapixel primary camera with OIS and a 2 megapixel sensor to go with it. The OIS on this camera works really well, and we had no problems getting clean and stable shots. And a lot of detail is retained even if you crop your images quite a bit. The OIS also helps with low light photography by delivering more light to the sensor. Vivo has extensively worked on the camera software, and you get a lot of filters, modes, and options to choose from. The front camera is a 16 megapixel sensor that works well and provides a decent dynamic range. Under certain conditions, we did find the images slightly oversaturated, but overall, the camera is quite desirable. The Vivo T2 has reduced its battery capacity compared to the T1, sporting a 4500 mAh battery, but there has been a massive jump in charging speeds, as it comes with 44 watt fast charging as opposed to 18 watt charging on the last year's model. You get the Fun Touch OS 13 based on Android 13, and sadly, it's not free of bloatware, so you might want to spend some time uninstalling apps after you're done setting up the phone.
What's nice about this phone is that it does exactly what it promises. Now we might be getting a little greedy, but it would have been nice to see Vivo pushing the benchmarks with this a little bit. With prices starting at 18,999, this phone is a good one to buy if you're looking for decent all-around performance. But if you have specific needs such as a good stereo speaker or maybe a performance-driven phone, then you might want to look around.